Well, hello my YouTube friend. This will be the last video of my haul during the East Coast Custom Night Show. I've made several videos already about it and I wanted to save the last one for my favorite score. If I had to go for that show just to have the chance to score that beauty, I would do it in a heartbeat, of course. That justifies all my journey there. And you know what? Even if I go there just to hang out with the guys, it would be sufficient. But if I have the chance to go home with only one knife like that, it's the icing on the cake. And believe me, the icing on the cake was big and the icing was consistent since I made several scores that I'm quite happy with. But this one was the best by far. I mean, Jeremy, let's not forget that this show is really a small show, and Jeremy was the big star of the show, and by far. I mean, everyone was like him and Jerry McGinnis, probably the two stars of the show, but oh man, by far Jeremy was at the top. I don't want to belittle, don't get me wrong, I don't want to belittle the others, but it's just for the I don't know, the trend, and maybe because I must be biased. For me, he was the one that I wanted to get a knife from, and luckily I did, with the help, as I've mentioned in a previous video, with the help of my brother Edison Barajas for Sharknifco knives. So yes, Edison, this video is for you also, because that's what you wanted. He entered the lottery for me. I mentioned that in my previous video, and he told me when even before the draw, he told me, oh, well, yes, I would really love to see the video about that one. And here it is for you, Edison. That's a tribute for you. Thank you so much for entering that lottery and allowing me to be the host of that little gem right there. So not only have I won this one, but actually this one was one of the 2 stars on Jeremy's table. He had a small California, which is the smaller size that you can find on the Vanquish. So the California with the exact same, you must have seen some of my pictures about that. The exact same finish, same scale, same finish, okay? It would be a perfect match. Alex, if you look at this video, don't let that knife go to anywhere, to anyone else than me. Those 2 knives has to be reunited. So those 2 were really the big stars of his table. I mean, at least for the lotteries. And of course, everyone was looking at those. So when the first draw came, my dear friend Alex from Chicago won the first draw. So I was like, yeah, you must have the California and everything. So he took the California, and then I got picked for the second draw, which was, I mean, basically, for some reason, I like the California a little bit better, but both of them were great. And actually, this one has an action that was, oh man, way better than the California. So I got picked for the second draw, so I was kind of, yeah, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have advised him to take the California, but listen, I was ecstatic. I was doing hops and bombs everywhere. I kissed Edison for that. I was the luckiest man on earth to get that marvel. And after 4 minutes, maybe I will start the review. But you know, as usual, if you watch my videos, it's somehow to look at some beautiful knives, hopefully beautiful knives, and some of my rants. This is my signature, so I'll keep on doing that way. Yeah, I was doing hops and bombs. More than happy with that, definitely happy, and like I said, it made my show worthy. So what do we have here? Actually, we have here a mini Rockstar. So the Rockstar, let's talk a little bit about the Rockstar. I mean, I love the eye that Jeremy has for the design, but actually this one is not a design from Jeremy. The guy who made that design is a guy named Jeff Roxas. How it happened is, if I remember correctly, again, I never prepare my video, and everything that I decide to say comes in the heat of the moment. So if I remember correctly, Jeremy made a kind of, I don't know, a contest, and he actually said, like, if you win that contest, I used your design for one of my knives, something like that. And Jeff won that contest with the design of the Rockstar. So that's a design from Jeff, and man, it looks so much. I think that Jeff is a good designer. He's got also a great eye for design, and he made a design that fits perfectly Jeremy's usual line, and for me, that's, yeah, of course it comes from Jeff, but to me that's typically a design from Jeremy. On the bigger version, which was the first to come, he made the first mini Rockstar. I think it was during the last gathering. I'm pretty sure it was during the last gathering. And he changed a little bit the grind, because as you can see here on the mini, it's a tanto grind, whereas on the big one, you have a flow. It's not a tanto on the tip. So basically the tip is changing. All the rest is exactly the same proportion in a mini package. So I absolutely love the design. And as usual with Jeremy, the big and bold flipper tabs are part of the design. Actually, if you look at the Vanquish, I'm sorry, I'm digressing, but if you look at the Vanquish version 1, the ones that I have, the big and bold flipper tab, I mean, fits so well and so much better than the Vanquish V2. Luckily, the Rockstar is a younger design, and he didn't make the change, and I think that this tab fits perfectly with the overall design. I mean, those are pieces of art. I mean, of course, there are knives, and actually a very nice knife to use. We're going to review that eventually if I decide to start, but most of all, it's art. And man, what an art. So now let's start the review. Starting with the handle. So here we have micarta. I will call it Westinghouse micarta, but I've talked about that on a previous video. It is very hard to find the real Westinghouse, the vintage one from the Westinghouse company in the 60s, 70s, stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the real one or from a younger company. Who cares? It's a very, very nice piece of Westinghouse, of micarta, yellowish, and it might very well be the Westinghouse, the old one. I don't really care. It's a beautiful piece, and you have the same on the other side. Very even. Maybe not the vintage, because it's too even. It looks like too even. Jeremy, if you look at this video, let me know. But again, I don't care. It looks so beautiful. And man, the mix that he made with those liners in blue is brilliant. I'm sorry about the lighting that is poor here, but blue and this yellowish finish is perfect. And I love the line. Look at that. I mean, one curve here, one curve here, one curve here. Everywhere you have some curves. And look at that. Around the hardware here, you have one cut here that it's just for the art. Look at that. You see the screw here and the liner that is appearing. It's just beautiful. It could be like just the scale, you know, but this is a part of the design where you look at the liner that are popping in blue like that, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Love the way he did it. Also, the flats are not really contoured. Here it's flat, but you have the chamfer everywhere here. All around you have some chamfer. Check that. So very nice work. Very, very nice work. Handwork. Not contoured, but again, the chamfer makes it for a very nice touch. And of course, you have the same on the other side. Beautiful. Now, the way he does his new finish on the zirconium, and of course, zirconium and Westinghouse is now a very nice and known combo. I mean, this is something that matches so well. The whitish, yellowish with the darkness of the zirconium fits so well. But I love the flaming finish that he does now on his zirconium. Check that. And always, of course, the beautiful clip. Check that line here with the hidden hardware, of course. Looks so gorgeous. So well in it. And the backspacer, the same in zirconium with this very nice, check that, the contouring that you have on the backspacer. Absolutely gorgeous. As usual. I mean, the work that he does everywhere, but you know, the touches that he put on his backspacer and on his clip, this is, like I said, the reason why I consider Jeremy to be one of the most, I mean, the biggest artist in this industry. I know that some of you guys don't consider knife making as artistry. I'm sorry, but I've mentioned that in a lot of videos. For me, if you miss the art part on the knife thing, you are missing something, because a knife is a tool. Okay, it's the first tool of humanity. A knife, you have some mechanics. We're going to review it eventually on this one. And also, it's a way to express your art. I mean, the design, it's art. The way you work with your material is art. So, I mean, if you just focus on the functionality of a knife, you are missing something. If you focus on the mechanics, you are missing something. I mean, if a knife can have all the features together and all the features even, it's brilliant. So this is a pure piece of art for me. And it's functional. Look at that. The grab is fantastic. This is a nice, very nice cutting edge. You can use it for all cutting tasks. I mean, that's a perfect EDC, and this is a very resistant material. Remember what I said in my previous video, the micarta is considered to be the steel of the plastic. This is nearly undamageable. So you can do anything you want with that, and the blade is hand rubbed, so it's very functional. So that's also an EDC. So the function is here, the art with the design and all the things that I mentioned. Check this blade, man, it's so beautiful. The usual line that goes up here, this is something that I love with his grind. This line going up here, and the swedge that you have here, the line is just beautiful. What a beautiful grinder. I'm not going to extend on his hand rub. It's not his best feature, but I don't care. I mean, this is just a beautiful knife. Absolutely adore it. Now, I wanted to mention the action, because the action have become during the year more and more precise. I mean, now he's doing, look at that. I mean, the centering is spot on. It is unbreakable. It's a liner lock and it's unbreakable. No wiggling whatsoever. And it fires like a rocket. So the line of the tab here follows the choil here, and when it's open, you have a kind of, you know, here it follows the line here, you know. So it's art. It's integrated in the design, and it, for me, it does it. I mean, I'm not contradicting myself. I've made a lot of video where I have bashed those makers who were using big flipper tabs like that. But again, like I said, you have three parts, like the art, the function, and everything. I'm not gonna say it again. But with Jeremy, I would say that my tendency is to look more at the art than anything else. But on this one, actually, everything is just spot on. Look at this engagement here, absolutely perfect. It's rock solid. Look at, even inside you have the flaming that looks so well. Absolutely perfect. Effortless to disengage. Here that detent. Boom. Check that view. I mean, that knife is beautiful from every single angle. And we are now heading to the 15 minutes. It was a pleasure to finish that long series of video about my recent acquisition, and as usual, a tremendous honor to share that with you, my friends, at least for the remaining followers that I have. And I will catch you very soon, hopefully, for a new video about a new score. Bye bye, my friends.